Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Thank you. Gentlemen, please turn to page 644, and our opening number will be a hybrid of Hevenu Shalom Aleichem and Hine Matov. All right, so here we go. 644. Hevenu Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Hevenu Shalom, Shubidu-ap-tu-ap, Hevenu Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Hevenu Shalom. Hine matov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Ooh, baby, hey, baby, shalom aleichem, aleichem hevenu shalom, shubidu-ap-tu-ap, hevenu shalom aleichem, aleichem hevenu shalom. Hine matov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Ooh, baby, hevenu shalom aleichem. Ooh, ah, aleichem hevenu, aleichem hevenu, aleichem hevenu shalom.
Wow, yay! Welcome and Shabbat Shalom to those of you in the sanctuary, those of you may be watching from home. What a joyous Shabbat this is. First of all, we welcome our 6th and 7th graders who are here especially. We welcome all our children who are here, but our 6th and 7th graders have a special role in our service tonight, and their teacher, Marcy Lerner, so thank you to you. So yay. Welcome to all our April birthdays and anniversaries. We have a special blessing for you as we do beginning of every month. Not quite yet, Bradley. I know Bradley's, what, are you 8 now? Cool. We have a couple of, we have at least one, we have 2 people here with birthdays today, so you'll be in suspense for a little bit. Also, Mazel Tov to our newest Jewish religious adult of our community. That would be Mason Gilbert Suarez, who is leading a beautiful service tomorrow morning. Everyone is invited, 10 o'clock. Mazel Tov to Mason, to his parents, Gil and Carly, to his sister Sadie, who has been up on this bima many times, and I know her brother will be as well. So, and Elise, and Mazel Tov to his grandmother. And we have some new, I guess I'll just say, Jews who are receiving their Jewish names tonight. So that would be Ayla and Emerald, and their grandmother, Myra Cutler, who's our member, their aunt and their cousins and their family, and we're just thrilled you're all here. So many simchas. Let's get started with the lighting of the Shabbat candles. The Suarez family is coming up to light our candles in honor of Mason's reaching bar mitzvah today, I will say. Candle lighting is on page 120.
Go ahead. Ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, God, source of all life, who brings us holiness through mitzvot, and who has given us the mitzvah of lighting the Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Yesher Koach, thank you. Shalom Aleichem is one of the songs used to welcome the Shabbat. In the song, we welcome the Shabbat angels into our midst to accompany us through the Shabbat day. Shalom Aleichem is on page 142.
La 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 la. La 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 la. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malchei Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Ya la 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 la. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malchei Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malchei Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. La 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 la. La 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 ya la la la.
We continue with Baruch Hu on page 146. If you're able, you may rise.
Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
You may be seated. And it's traditional in between Baruch Hu and Shema to do a prayer that affirms and recognizes the beauty of the natural world. In the morning service, we have a prayer where we welcome the new day and the dawn. At night, we have a prayer where we recognize the beauty of the night sky as the day kind of goes away and kind of swirls. That's the imagery in the Hebrew, kind of swirls into night. So we have a interpretation of that song, of that prayer, called Roll Into Dark, and I'd like our religious school students to come up. And Haley Rock, I see you sinking into the chair. You need to join a much bigger synagogue where the rabbi doesn't know who you are. If you want to remain anonymous. Okay, is everybody up here who would like to be up here? Roll into dark. We are, okay, well, or who just is apathetic about being up here. We roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. That's it.
Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, גולל אור מפני חושך, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night.
Thank you for illustrating that idea of day rolling into night. Actually, I'm going to have now our 6th and 7th graders come up because we are about to go into Shema and V'ahavta, and they will lead, especially Mason gets a front row seat here. Well, front row standing position. We'll put you in the middle. And Shema is from the Torah, as is V'ahavta. What Shema tells us is that God is woven through all of life, that God is in all people and all living things. If you're able, you may rise for Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated, you may stay up here, and we continue with V'ahavta on the next page, which also follows right after Shema in the Torah, and it talks about how love and godliness are actually woven through all the many activities that we do over the course of a day. So Mason, you'll get us started, and anyone join in.
V'ahavta Adonai Elohecha
Behold Avaha, Ubehold Nasheha, Ubehold Meodeha, Vehayu Hadvarim Ha'eleh, Asher Anohi Mitzaha, Hayom Alevaveha, Vishinantam Levaneha, Vidibartam Bam, B'shivteha b'beiteha, uvlefteha b'dereh, u'shofbeha u'bekumeha, u'shartam le'od al yadeha, v'hayu l'totafot bein eineha, uvtavtam all mezuzot beitecha, uvishareha. Leman tizkeru, v'asitem makom mitzvotai, v'yitem kedoshim lelohehem. Ani Adonai Elohehem, asher hoseti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, li'ot lahem le'elohim. Ani Adonai Elohehem.
Yesher Koach, very nice. You can be seated for now. Be ready to come up again at a moment's notice. We continue with our people's song of freedom. We are only about 10 days or so away from Pesach, or
Not even.
8? Okay, I was pretty close. I'm usually not that close. Okay, we're about 8 days away from Pesach. Oh my goodness. So we are going, of course, all to be Jews around the world, reliving, retelling this story of oppression and release into the freedom of an independent life and the long transition that has to happen before that independent life can begin. So Micha Mocha comes from the Torah. It's the people's exclamation of joy at being released from slavery in Egypt. It is on page 158.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar hakodesh, norat tehilot osef ele, norat tehilot osef ele. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la. Ya la 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 la.
Vishamru. Kids, come back up. Now I see Molly's head is going behind the seat. Come on up. Vishamru is on page something. Page 162. Vishamru, also from our Torah, says that this Shabbat day is a gift. It's a sign of the loving relationship between God and the Jewish people. The only thing you need to know for this is turn, woo. Can you do that? And hopefully all your relatives, friends, will follow you. Make sure they're following you and doing it also. Vishamru, page 162.
Veshamru Hanei Yisrael HaShabbat Lasod HaShabbat Ledorotam Beri Olam Veshamru Hanei Yisrael HaShabbat Lasod HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam Beni uvein Bnei Yisrael Ot hi leolam, ot hi leolam, ot hi leolam. Veshamru bnei Yisrael HaShabbat Lasod et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz veshamru bnei Yisrael HaShabbat Masoret HaShabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Excellent. Yasher Koach. Thank you, everyone, for making it so spirited.
Can we come up?
Sure, anytime. Okay, we continue with the central portion of our worship service, which is the tefillah, beginning on page 164. I'm in 6th, 7th grade only. They cannot, I'm not letting you guys fall asleep. That's not happening. You're going to get a good workout. Okay, we'll put Mason in front of the mic, but everyone will help you. And if you're able, you may rise.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד Adonai
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Haste'avot v'Imachod U'Mevigula Livnehem Leman Shmo Be'achara Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Melech Ha'am V'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Michayei Hakol Atah Rav Lehoshia Mashiv Haruah Uri Hagashem Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofei Holim Umatir Asurim Mechayei Enato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot Umidom Elah Umechayei Umechayei Evasir Yeshua V'nei Anatah L'Hayel Hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechakel Hakol Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh U'Kadoshim V'Chol Yom U'Rucha Selah Baruch atah Adonai Chayel HaKadosh.
Yasher Koach, beautiful. We continue with a moment of silent reflection, either with the prayers of our prayer book or the prayers of our hearts, and we continue either standing or sitting.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו, אמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו, אמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן.
We pause to think of all who are in need of healing, physical healing, emotional healing, those in our community and those around the world. On this Shabbat, we especially think of Paul Aronson, David Appel, Avraham ben Roiza, Shlomo Betzalel ben Avraham, Ethan Campbell, Sandra Chesler, Brian Clohessy, Randy Clohessy, Jay Crystal, Terry Darmody, Rosa Bat Shmuel Uvat Sheva, Sandy Friedland, Shar Friedman, Rachel Galazan, Ronnie Gross, Marcia Hopp, Sarah Ann Hopp, Tracy Janetta, Alma Kalish, Julian Canner, Marion Kostrinsky, Shelley Lehner, Howard Longan, Mark Merberg, Lila Nelson, Harriet Radin, Arnold Reamer, Rosalie Saltiel, Louise Samuels, Jason Sherman, Bobby Sherman Geishan, Jody Michaels Simmons, Robin Stein, Katie Weinstock, Lori Weinstock. Are there others we wish to pray for at this time? We join in our prayer for healing. We hope it brings strength and comfort to all in need on page 109.
Mi sheberach avoteinu mekor abraha le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
And we move to the joy of birthdays and anniversaries. If you have an April birthday or an April anniversary, come on up. This is a good month for a birthday, time of spring and renewal. Oh, let me get them. Oh, thank you, Andy. You're one step ahead. Okay, so I know we have at least, there you are. I know we have at least 2 birthdays today. That would be, and so let's start with our today birthdays. Tell us your name, and you have to tell us when your birthday is, because it's today. Anything else you want to say?
I'm Laurel, and my birthday is today, and I am now 73 or 2. I don't know, whatever. I'm
you
old.
lose track after a while. I understand.
I think I'm 72. So.
Okay, you are?
I'm Mason Suarez, and my birthday's today, and I'm 13 years old.
Woo! Okay, now I know we had a birthday. Was it yesterday? We had a birthday yesterday. Let's see over here. Who are you, young man?
My name's Bradley, and my birthday was yesterday, and I turned 8.
Cool. Okay, you do not have to say how old you're turning. You can say your name and your birth date and whatever else you want to say.
I'm Andy Perez, and my birthday is April 21st, and I am proud to say I'm going to be 64.
Yay! That's a great age.
And I am Bob Hopp, and my birthday is April 11th, along with my brothers, and I am going to be 82. And 45 of those years were spent here. All right.
You look amazing.
I am Eileen. My birthday is April 23rd, and I am to be the big 7-0.
Yay! So, April birthdays. This is the time for rebirth, the month where Pesach pretty much always is. So may this be a wonderful year of blooming and blossoming, a year where you find joys in all kinds of places that maybe you didn't expect. We wish you all mazel tov, and we are going to join in our blessing, Shehecheyanu, which is our blessing for reaching a special time.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. We give thanks to celebrate this moment. Amen.
All of you, many, many blessings. Good health and happiness. And another simcha, I would like to call up the Androff family. We have a couple of namings. And maybe over here, away from the candles. So we welcome up Narissa and, hi, Narissa, yes. Those are for you. They say, I'm a Temple Beth Orr kid. We have our grasp on you, and you too. That's okay, you don't have to hold it. Hi, you're super cute. You are super cute. Okay, so before that turns into tears, we will just keep it moving. So here is our official Jewish naming. Our God, source of all life, we thank you for the countless blessings you have given us. We thank you especially for the sacred joy and privilege of parenthood, which adds profound meaning and purpose to our existence. Narissa and Aaron offer thanks to you for their beautiful daughters and ask your guidance in their continued upbringing. Bless these parents with wisdom and patience and devotion as they raise their daughters, Ayla Ruby and Emerald Dawn. We bless these children. I figured that was going to happen. Okay. The floor's pretty clean. We bless these children as we officially welcome them into the Jewish covenant of life. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahachnisa bivrit am Yisrael. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, gives us the mitzvah of bringing these children into the covenant of our people Israel. So our God and God of our fathers and mothers. So Emerald, we're starting with you. You want your name? Oh, Ayla, sorry. Emerald. Ayla, we'll start with you. Sustain this child, Ayla Ruby, in her parents' loving care. Let her be known among our people Israel by the name. Here's your name. Are you interested? It's Ayla Reuvena Bat Nahuma Fega. You don't have to memorize that right now. You have some time. Our God and God of our mothers and fathers, sustain this child, Emerald Dawn, in her parents' loving care. Look how cute you are. Let her be known among our people Israel by the name Esther Diana Bat Nahuma Fega. You don't have to memorize that now either, so do not feel pressure, okay? Whatever you do. May their names be a source of joy to them, inspire them to serve our people and all humankind. May their parents rejoice in their growth of body and soul. As they have brought their daughters into the covenant, so may they, with wisdom and patience, lead them to a life of learning, a life of good deeds, and a life worthy of blessing, as we all say, Amen. And the priestly blessing before you get your certificates. This is a blessing from the Torah that the priests gave to all the people. Yivarechacha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. I know it's funny. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May the warmth and the light of God always be felt by you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May you always feel God's gift of peace around you and within you. And Mazel Tov. And here, I don't know if she probably can't hold it, but here, do you want to hold your sister's ducky? And these are their certificates. Mazel Tov.
Mazel tov, simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, Yehelanu, Ulecha Yisrael, Yehelanu, Ulecha Yisrael, simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, Yehelanu. Hey!
Hey, you're cute. You got two duckies? Okay, good. 6th, 7th grade, come on up. And you can have a seat. We're going to talk a little about someone I find really, really interesting, and that is Elijah the prophet. Eliyahu. Mason, you are in 7th grade. Elijah the prophet. So who it? I think he's here now. Here he is. It's definitely Elijah. I'm not sure if it's Elijah the prophet, but it's Elijah. Thank you, Elijah, for showing up. Okay, so I made Elijah do that because, we're talking about him. All right, so who is Elijah the prophet? Who's Elijah the prophet? What do you know about Elijah the prophet? Have you ever heard of Elijah the prophet? Anybody? Yes, you have.
I don't know him personally.
Just anything you know about Elijah the prophet. Just anything.
His name's Elijah the prophet.
Okay. When have you heard of him?
Passover?
Oh, say that again.
Passover?
Passover. When do we hear about Elijah the prophet at Passover?
When my parents tell me to open the door for him.
Ah, we open the door for Elijah. Okay, we do. Anything else about Elijah you can remember about Passover? Mason, you must remember some. I know you have Seders. What? No? No. I know he's sat through many Seders, I know.
He's a man.
Okay. Maybe.
He drinks wine.
Oh, how do you know he drinks wine?
Because when I open the door, he always drinks all the wine.
I drink. Does he have a special cup that's just for him on the table at Passover? Yeah, okay. So, Elijah. So that's good. We also, a couple other things, when we do Havdalah, when Shabbat's over, when we have Havdalah, when Shabbat's over, we sing at the end, Eliyahu Hanavi. Does that sound familiar? Eliyahu. Who's Eliyahu? Elijah. It's just Hebrew for Elijah, Hanavi, the prophet. Okay. Also, you may not know this, but if you go to a Brit Milah, which is when a little baby boy has a circumcision, and then everyone eats bagels and cream cheese, because, we're a little strange. But when that happens, we have a special chair for Elijah the prophet. So Elijah shows up at a lot of things. So you might be asking, well, why is Elijah at all of our stuff? What about Moses or Abraham? Like, they seem more famous, right? I mean, you've heard of Moses, you've heard of Abraham. Why Elijah? Who the heck is Elijah besides this fine young man sitting back here? Okay, well, I'll tell you, Elijah is in the Bible, not in the Torah, though. Elijah's from later in the Bible. Okay, Molly, look out here. Okay. Elijah is from later in the Bible, not from the Torah, and there's not a real lot about him. So I will say Elijah in the Bible starts out, he's like a warrior for God. He yells at people angrily if they are not following God's laws. He's especially upset when people worship other gods besides our God Adonai. He has a whole showdown with the people of who worship the god called Baal. There's fire and there's drama and there's people slaughtered, and it's quite nasty. So far from our Bible story, does Elijah seem like someone you want at your Passover Seder? Kind of sounds like a jerk a little bit, doesn't he? I mean, he seems kind of angry and very self-righteous. Okay, so we might wonder, well, why the heck are we having Elijah at all of our Jewish things? Why are we giving him wine? Okay, well, that's not the end of Elijah's story. People are after Elijah. He ends up hiding in a cave. He gets really depressed. He says to God, what's the point of my even being here? Why am I even here? What am I even doing that's good? I'm not really changing anything. Okay, so he's feeling very down, he's feeling very depressed. Then God sends him off to live off the land, and then God sends him to this little shack. And in the little shack, there's a very poor woman and her son living there. They have almost nothing, and they're basically kind of starving to death. At first, Elijah walks in, because God tells him to go there, and he says, "I'm hungry." And the woman says, "You know, we're about to starve ourselves. We only have a tiny bit of flour and a little bit of oil." So Elijah says to her, "Use all of that and make me some bread, and then after I eat, I'm going to make sure you have plenty of flour and oil." So the starving woman takes what she has and bakes it into a bread and takes the loaf out of the oven and gives it to Elijah. He sits in their one chair and he eats this and he goes, "Yum, now I'm finished and I feel better. Now I'm going to see you have plenty of flour and oil." So what do you think of how Elijah is acting? What do you think?
I didn't say anything.
I can't hear you.
I didn't say anything.
Oh. You think it's okay? Guess so? Okay. All right. So he does, in fact, supply magically the flour and oil. So whenever the woman bakes something and the flour goes down and the oil goes down, it magically gets filled up to the top again. They never run out. He lives with these poor people for a little bit, and one day the son becomes very, very ill with some disease because they had no vaccines back then. So he got very, very sick, and the son dies, and the woman begs Elijah to do something. "You're a man of God, do something." So Elijah carries the boy to his bed. He stretches himself over the I guess it's a child, it's a little unclear, but let's say he's an older child, and cries out to God, "God, I pray, let this child's soul come back into him again." And it did. And the son came back to life. And that's what it says. I'm not saying it's scientific, but that's what it says in the Bible. The final story in the Bible about Elijah is when he's about, he knows the end, it's like the end, and he hands his powers and his cloak over to his assistant prophet, who's Elisha, and then a fiery chariot and fiery horses come down, and Elijah gets in, and it takes him away off into the sky. That's the story. And there he is, and there he goes. We want to see more fire, though. No, we don't. We don't, really. I'm kidding. Ha ha. Okay. So that's quite a Bible story, isn't it? I have some questions for you about this. So you probably don't know, Elijah folk tales are maybe the most popular Jewish folk tales there are. I'm about to show you a book, which is only some of the, I'm holding it in my hand. Okay, I'm holding it right here. Look at this. This is just some of the tales of Elijah the prophet. This is just a few of them. There are Elijah folk tales in every country around the world that there have ever been Jews. There are Elijah folk tales. Somebody actually cataloged them and found there's at least 600 Elijah folk tales from all around the world. People are fascinated with Elijah the prophet. I don't know, maybe you think that's strange, maybe you don't, based on what it says about him in the Bible. They're sort of strange stories. But this is what the Elijah stories are. If you ever hear an Elijah story, it's going to be something like this. There's a poor family somewhere, and they're desperate, and they don't have enough money for food or for whatever they need. And suddenly this mysterious stranger just shows up at their door, or just shows up somehow, or runs into them on the street. And the stranger says, oh, I need some help. And even though they don't have anything, they're very kind and they help the poor stranger. And always the next day, the stranger's gone. Just gone. But somehow there's like a basket of gold in their house, and suddenly they have enough for everything that they need. And they say, oh, that stranger must have been Elijah the prophet. That's pretty much all 600 folk tales. They're all a little different, but that's basically how they go. So here's a question. I mean, there's a lot of questions we might have, but what's the message of that kind of story? Poor family, they don't have enough, and then somebody comes who they don't even know, and they help them. They're very kind to that person, and then that person's just poof, they're gone, and they have everything they need. What's the message or the lesson of that story? Aurora, what do you think?
I don't know.
What is it telling people maybe they should do?
Be kind to other people and
Yeah.
good things come around.
Okay, be kind to other people. I mean, that sums it up really well. Any other thoughts? Yes, Mason.
Maybe like there's always hope.
Remember that, because that's really important. I'll get to that in a minute. We'll finish up in a minute. Haley, what do you think? Be kind to strangers, maybe. Welcoming the stranger. That's a big, big theme in Jewish tradition. That's a big theme, being kind to strangers, because, as we say, you never know if the person next to you might be Elijah the prophet. Maybe it's a stranger in the school hallway. Maybe it's Molly. Maybe it's a stranger in the hallway. Maybe it's a stranger walking down the street or in line with you at Publix. Like, you never know. You never know. So maybe it's always good to be kind. So to wrap this up, Mason mentioned the sense of hope. And absolutely, that is the message of why we have Elijah who comes in at Passover. First of all, the message at Passover Seder, one of the messages is welcome people in, be welcoming, help other people. And another message is when times seem dark, Elijah represents hope. And just as Mason said, this has been a symbol that Elijah stands for many generations, that even when we think everything is really dire, always keep and retain a sense of hope. So thank you, 6th and 7th graders, for helping us learn all about Elijah. Good job. And Lauren is our duty trustee. So she is representing our board of trustees and has some announcements.
Which one is it? Shabbat Shalom. So we have a very exciting night tonight. Mazel tov to everybody who's celebrating tonight. My goodness, Mason, happy birthday, and mazel tov to the Suarez family. I'd like to thank the Rabbi, Andy, Ruth, for a beautiful service tonight. Want to thank President Matthew Meyer and also Xavier in the back for our technology. Thank you very much. So I'd also like to thank the co-sponsors of our Oneg tonight, the Suarez family, in honor of Mason's bar mitzvah, and Myra Cutler in the honor of naming your grandchildren, who are beautiful tonight. And also for announcements this weekend, there's no Torah discussion because, as you know, there's a bar mitzvah, in case you haven't heard, tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. We also, on Sunday, have our congregational meeting in the social hall. Be there. It's a great meeting, a lot of information. 9:30, we have coffee and bagels, good coffee. And 10 o'clock, the meeting is to start. So please come, enjoy, and listen to what's going on at the temple. We also have upcoming events. April 12th of Pesach. April 13th and 14th is Passover, so there's no religious school, no sisterhood, no mahjong. I don't know what you're going to do, but, you know, without all that,
matzo balls.
eat a lot of matzo balls, hide a lot of matzah, find the crumbs, clean them up.
Right,
In
sweeping crumbs.
So, yep. So, and April 16th, there's an executive board meeting. So, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, thank you. I'd like to call up Mason and Sadie to open our ark for Aleinu. Aleinu's on page 586, and if you're able, you may rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Yesher Koach, beautifully done. Thank you. Beautiful 45-degree angle. Did you notice how beautifully they opened and closed with the rod at a 45-degree angle? I'm going to just keep saying that for the next 2 months. You may be seated. We remember those who we have loved and lost, those who meant so much to us, who meant so much to so many in their time on earth. They live on in our hearts, in our memories, and all the ways they brought their unique gifts to our world. On this Shabbat, during her time of Shiva, we remember Ruth Edelman, mother of Eileen Edelman. During his time of Shloshim, we remember our former TBO member, Glenn Smoller. And those whose yahrzeits fall this week: Donald Alderman, Molly Apter, Hilda Confield, Faye Feller, Herman Garlock, David Goffstein, Fritz Katz, Paul P.K., Natalie Klachevsky, E. Harold Corbell, our beloved member, Louis Lasky, who died 1 year ago this week. Barbara Latman, Myron Levy, Joseph Meyer, Arthur Richmond, Ida Samuels, Bertha Schlefstein, Rose Sugarman, Roberta Joy Wasserman, Estelle Zaffron, Arlene Sylvia Zaltman. Are there others we wish to remember on this Shabbat? We honor their memories as we join together in Mourner's Kaddish on page 598, and you may rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Bi'alma divrach yurtei v'amlech malchutei. B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach la'alam olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yatadar, v'yatale, v'yatalal, shemei d'kudsha, barichu. La'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran bialma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. V'imru, 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 amen. V'imru, 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 amen. You may be seated. We move from our sacred prayer of memory to the joy of the Shabbat day, as symbolized, of course, by food and drink. What else? Challah and juice. I invite the 6th, 7th grade and Mason is in the 6th, 7th grade. 6th, 7th grade featuring Mason up to the front to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. And we have, of course, the family special. We have the special family service Kiddush cups. Da, 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 da. Our favorite. And Mason, you get your pick of whatever you want. You can have one of those. You can have this. Okay, he's going to go for that. Oh, we had no Lego takers. Interesting. That's what happens when you have a girl heavier class. Okay. So Mason was asked what he wanted to do Kiddush with this weekend, and he's chosen juice for tonight, wine for tomorrow morning. So you probably won't get any good sort of Manischewitz face tonight, just straight juice. So we will come to expect that. All right, so why don't you get us started, Mason? Kiddush is on page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'aratav v'hanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava u'ratzon inchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila lamikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim ki banu v'charta v'tanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat koshecha v'ahava u'ratzon inhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha'shabbat. Amen.
L'chaim. It's tucked in.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
And you may dig into the challah. You notice extras usually often show up when challah is to be had. And we conclude with a Passover song because we are 8 days away. Avadim Hayinu.
Page 665, Avadim Hayinu. Avadim Hayinu, Hayinu, Ata b'nei chorin, Avadim היינו אתה בני חורין, עבדים היינו אתה בני חורין, בני חורין, אתה בני חורין, בני חורין.
Shalom. Stickers for anybody who would like.